What's going on, guys? Today I'm bringing a new accepting all trades video using the Toronto Maple Leafs. If you guys somehow didn't know, Kyle Dubas is out as the Maple Leafs GM and Brad Treliving is in, so it'd be kind of funny if maybe Treliving just takes over for the job and says, you know what, fire sale, I'm accepting every single trade that comes in. We're going to find out today what would happen if that was the case. Obviously, guys, top players there, Matthews, Marner, and Nylander. I'm curious to see if any of the core four will get traded. Going to have them all on the block, of course, but a lot of times, kind of the better the player is, the more trade value they have, the less likely they are to get an offer for some reason in this game. And now, as you guys can see here, the Maple Leafs are rated 89 overall, which makes them the third highest rated team in the Atlantic. So, you know, going in, they should be a playoff team. After we go through all these trades, who knows what's going to happen. And in terms of trade difficulty, guys, I have it set at medium, which I think will be like the most realistic. Sometimes hard, you have to like just give up way too much. All right, guys, let's just show what the team is looking like to start. Obviously, we find to compare this team to the team we finished the season with. So first line there, we're just going top heavy. Nylander, Matthews, Marner, getting that +5. I'm really hoping like one of the core four gets traded here. Second line, you got Bunting, Tavares, O'Reilly, Kerfoot, Achari, Yarncroc, Lafferty, Camp, and Aston Reese. Now, defensively here, we got Riley and Shen on the top pair, Brody, Giordano on the second, and then McCabe and Liljegren on the bottom. Goaltending-wise, Samson not starting, of course, Murray backing him up. We've also got a couple extra pretty decent, NHL defensemen, Justin Holt, Eric Gustafsson, so we'd like to trade those guys as well. With injuries turned off, we really have no need to have the extra D-man. So next, you guys will show what the trading block is look like. Obviously, I had to edit this a ton. Make sure to try and, promote the most trades possible. So you can see on the block there, the core four, Matthews, Marner, Nylander, and Tavares. For the fifth option here, I'm thinking probably add O'Reilly for now, just because 88 overall, only making 1.8 million. Seems like a guy that a lot of teams will be able to trade for. Again, doesn't have that big contract. If he does get traded, we'll probably replace him with Morgan Riley. Now, in terms of surplus, guys, I've tried to switch it up a bit to promote some better trades. So, as you can see in the first block, it's any forward as long as their potential minimums at least top 9. So, that we're not getting, AHL forwards offered to us, even bottom 6 guys. In terms of the defensemen, any defenseman as long as they have a top 6 minimum potential. Goaltenders, minimum potential, there's medium fringe. But apart from that, there can be any age, any salary. Obviously, in terms of overall for the surplus, doesn't really matter. I'm more than willing to, trade our prospect. Just trying to make it so it's actually like meaningful trades. Current picks, you guys can see there. I've got all of our picks on the block currently and in the future. And now in terms of the wants, I tried to go with like a similar method here. So you guys will see we're looking for any forward, any defenseman, any goaltender. As long as the goalie has at least starter potential. Defensemen, they're at least top 4 potential. Then the forwards, at least top 9. Also, too, in terms of the wants, I made it so the overall is a minimum 77. So they're at least, a borderline NHL player. We're not really looking to add AHL players or prospects since, we're trying to compete for the cup this year. Also, too, in terms of picks, only looking for first and second round picks. Again, that way I'm thinking teams will be offering us bigger trades opposed to a 4th round pick for, some AHL player or some prospect, doesn't matter. So we'll try this out. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, we do get a good amount of trades coming in. Let's get started. All right, guys, so our first offer here, the Devils giving us a 2nd round pick for Michael Bunting. I mean, he is on an expiring deal. The Leafs got him, I'm pretty sure, as a free agent. So we get a free 2nd round pick there. Ideally, we would have gotten back more than a second for him, but that's all right. I think we were calling up Wayne Simmons there. So again, we have a lot of extra defensemen. I'm hoping, Gustafsson, Hull, one of those guys gets moved. And right here, guys, speaking of Eric Gustafsson, Oilers are offering us 2 second-round picks for Robertson and Gustafsson. It's one of our best prospects. And then Gustafsson there for a couple seconds. Maybe I'll have to take off the seconds, honestly. I feel like at this point, we have enough. Also, too, as you can see, we're currently 500 here in December, which is good for a wildcard spot, luckily. So like I was saying, guys, taking off these second-round picks there from the wants, I feel like we've already got 3. I don't want to just trade away this entire team for seconds. Let's actually, get some players back. And as you can see there, Mitch Marner's currently got a point per game. Only 6 goals, but still, that's got to, be increasing his value. Let's see if we can get a blockbuster deal done. All right, so here we go. This is actually a pretty decent offer from the Flyers. Scott Laughton there for Rodion Amira, another one of the least good prospects, and Nick Abruzzese, who's a pretty solid player for the Marlies, but obviously neither of those guys on the NHL team. Scott Laughton can come in, kind of replace Michael Bunting, honestly. So again, I think that's actually a pretty good trade for us. Now we got about a month left, guys, before the trade deadline. I'm going to remove Matthews and Marner from the trade block just because they have so much trade value. Again, you almost never get an offer for those guys because like very few teams can even meet that value. So instead we'll put Morgan Riley there. And then maybe we'll add another one of our defensemen. I think I mentioned Justin Holt being an extra guy. So even though he doesn't have a lot of value, I know some Leafs fans want him traded. We'll throw him on there, see if anything else comes in. Okay, interesting. Andreas Johnsson, a former Leaf, being offered back to us for Timothy Liljegren, Sam Lafferty, and Lasowski. So I don't think this is a great trade for the Leafs. Johnsson is a 100% a cap dump, 3.4 million. I think he's like 79 overall. I don't know where the Sharks get off asking for this. For some reason, yeah, like 79 overall, I'm pretty sure he's always got a ton of value. Like, where is the value coming for this guy? 79 overall, making 3.4. There is some sort of glitch happening because he's always got that value. Not even having a great season, like what is that, 35 points? It's not bad, but to ask for Liljegren, who's 83 overall defenseman. I'm pretty sure he started the year 82. Plus Lafferty, same rating. Like, I don't know where the AI GM gets off on that one, but it's fine. Another trade offer here, guys, and this is actually a big one. Let's go. What the heck? The Devils are giving us Michael Bunting back, so I guess he's returning to the team for the playoff run. Damon Severson would actually be a really good upgrade on that decor. We do give up Jake McCabe, which kind of sucks. Along with Cal Yarncroc, there's on a good, cost control deal, $2 million for the next 4 years. McCabe as well, I mean, $2 million for the next 3, but at least we get a pretty solid trade there. Severson and Bunting coming in. Definitely going to be a different lineup, even without, moving the core 4. And so we're now at the trade deadline here, guys, and make sure I keep our current trade block the same. I made the mistake of messing that up before, and I think it changes, like, who's on the block for you. So, as you can see, Nylander's actually top player there. Ryan O'Reilly, Tavares, Morgan Riley. Justin Hull does not quite make it. So, one thing I can do for fun is try and do find trade for both Matthews and Marner. Again, pretty much 99% chance nothing's found. Yeah, they just have too much value. You can see Matthews there, doesn't get it done. Marner, a little bit less, but still with the big contract. Yeah, no trades found. But hopefully everyone else that's on the block, we get some trades for them and obviously have some fun here.
Later.
Alright guys, so we're a couple hours into the trade deadline now. We haven't received a single trade offer. Because of that, I want to edit the trade block here just to try and, promote some trades. Morgan Riley, William Nylander, maybe they have too much value. So I'll try taking those guys off. I feel like Tavares maybe even has too much. O'Reilly though, 1.8 million. Because he had such a cheap salary, I feel like that trade, should be possible. I'm going to try and flip Andreas Janssen here. Some team wants him with that value. They can go get him. And just for fun here, I'm actually going to throw in our next couple first-round picks just to see if that'll kind of promote some trades with some of the rebuilding teams. Also, too, guys, in terms of the surplus, I decided to turn down the potential to anything. So, again, just trying to get at least one trade offer here at the deadline. So far, I still can't believe haven't had a single call.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
All right, guys, there's only a couple hours left now in the trade deadline. I really want to make a trade happen, so I'm going to see if we can potentially find trade here with some of the guys we have on the block. I feel like Andreas Jansson's the first one just because of that stupid trade value. I'm really curious to see what all the other GMs would offer for him, so we'll do open trade block here. We get one trade from the Flames, 2 second-round picks. I mean, we're not really getting a player, but I did do, the fine trade, so I guess we have to accept it. So we'll do that there. The other 2 players we had on the block, I think, were O'Reilly and Justin Hull. So we'll try finding a trade with Justin Hull here. 2 offers, Flames 3rd and 7th. Capitals a 4th and Craig Smith. So at least we're getting a player back. Veteran can kind of replace Andreas Janssen. I like that.
You like that?
Call up Connor Timmins, which shouldn't matter for waivers. And then lastly, I did have O'Reilly on that block there. I'm curious to see, like, again, because of that salary, there should be a ton of teams offering. I'm not sure what the holdup is. Here we go.
Nope.
No trades for Ryan O'Reilly. Wow, that is crazy to me. All right, guys, so we got 10 more minutes to go here. I still don't think we've actually received one actual trade offer. All the trades we made at the deadline so far have been, via fine trade, which I can't believe, like, sat here for, what, like 15, 20 minutes in real life, and not a single offer. Like, that's just standing to me. Looking through here, any of the big players get traded? Does not look like it. So, yeah, kind of looking like a slow trade deadline, but I will take a quick look at the summaries to see if maybe we missed something. So, IFL to the Blues, John Beecher to the Wild, Pageau to the Coyotes, definitely a bit of a capped up, I think, for the Islanders. Matt Benning to the Coyotes, Scott Mayfield to the Jets, Jacob Trouba to the Devils. That's a big trade for Graves and Tatar. Mikhail to the Preds, former player of the Leafs. Tristan Jarry to the Kraken. Okay, Wallstrom to the Stars. There's definitely some movement here. Kevin Shattenkirk to the Golden Knights. The Ducks got back Brendan Brisson. Jeez. Brian Dumoulin to the Oilers. Gavrikov to the Senators. Gostisbehere goes to the Carolina Hurricanes. I think I forgot to take him off the Coyotes after I started my franchise mode, so that's actually so funny they made the real-life trade, but they got back a couple prospects and a 3rd-round pick, not just a 3rd. David Perron to the Devils. Red Wings get back Seamus Casey. McDonough there to the Red Wings as well. Copp, Suter to 3rd. Matt Roy and Peterson to the Coyotes. So, yeah, definitely, pretty active, but unfortunately no blockbusters. Tyler Mott on waivers. I'm not sure if we're allowed to take a guy that's on waivers. 79 overall. Accepting all trades. Are we allowed to accept all waiver claims? You know what? Let's just claim him and see where he fits in. All right, guys. So after the trade deadline, I'm going to give you an updated look at the team. Hasn't changed too much. Definitely just, some small tweaks here and there. First line still the same. Nylander, Matthews, Marner, getting that +5. Second line, we got Tavares on the wing now, O'Reilly in the middle, and Scott Laughton actually on the left wing. Third line, there's Kerfoot, Achari, Bunting. You got to remember, too, Bunting traded away, then brought him back. So, kind of funny. Craig Smith out of the 4th line there, playing with Camp and Aston Reese. Every single line's getting a +1 or better. Defensively here, we got Riley and Severson on the top pair. So, I mean, bringing in Severson, I think, is probably our biggest trade for sure. I mean, he's playing on the top D pair for us. You got Brody, Giordano still in that second pair with Timmins, Shen on the bottom. So, again, trade away Hull, trade away Lidgren, trade away Gustafson. Timmins gets the call up. Goaltending there, no change. And you gotta remember, too, we have this new team with, like, what, 4 extra second-round picks, something like that. So I feel like actually decent GM work here for Tree Living, just accepting all the trades. Let's see if this team can get in the playoffs and maybe make a run to the Stanley Cup. As far as the season now, guys, a record of 46, 33, and 3. Not too bad. Finished 3rd there in the division. We're actually be playing the Stanley Cup final. Florida Panthers there in round 1. 95 points on the year. Again, not too bad. Real life Leafs, though, did do better. Lead scorer Mitch Marner put up 101 points this season. Not bad at all. 31 goals and 70 assists. I'll say everyone else did on this team. Nylander there at 90. Matthews 85, so over a point per game, but compared to the other two, definitely a slower year for him. Did have the most goals at 44. O'Reilly almost a point per game. I still can't get over how he doesn't get traded. Morgan Riley 72 for D-Man is awesome. Tavares 69 is nice. Lawton there, Achari, Severson, Kerfoot, Bunting. I'm curious to see. So Bunting, like, Devils there, he played 51 games with 13 points. And with us, he played 31 games, also at 13 points. So, yeah, plays better with us. Devils there was not doing good at all. Must have been like 3rd, maybe even 4th line for them. Craig Smith, Giordano, Brody. So, overall, you know, kind of what you'd expect. Goaltenders here, Samsonov and Murray had pretty identical numbers. Now, looking at the entire league here, McDavid actually wins the Art Ross, although he's tied with Claude Giroux and Erik Karlsson. Karlsson putting up 102 is just ridiculous. I mean, wow. What a year for Giroux as well. I don't think I've ever seen him at the top of the list in the first year. Marner there was 1 point back there at Ross, same with Crosby and Draisaitl. So a very close race there at the end, like 6 guys within a point of each other. Marchand, Forsberg, Pasternak. In terms of goals, Philip Forsberg actually with 52 takes on Maurice Richard. Defensive scoring there, you got Karlsson, Makar, Fox, Hughes, Yossi. Riley though does finish 7th, which isn't too bad. And then in terms of rookie skaters, Matty Beniers there, 73 points. Probably gonna be winning the Calder Trophy. So we'll get started here, round 1 against the Panthers, see if we can actually do some damage in the playoffs. Obviously, real life Leafs took out the Tampa Bay Lightning, so a different Florida team, before losing to Florida in round 2. So we'll see what happens here. Can they get a bit of revenge? Let's go. Florida is going to have the home ice advantage. Unfortunately, they win game 1 and 2. We win game 3 and 4 back in Toronto. Game 5, wow, goes to game 7. What's going to happen? And we win it and go to round 2 where we're playing the Boston Bruins. So Leafs fans chanting, we want Florida. They finally got their wish there and actually beat them in the sim. Boston currently 1-1 with through the first 2. Those games were in Boston. Unfortunately, we just headed home to Toronto, lost both games. So down 3-1 here to Boston. I don't see us coming back. And no, we do not. So we lose there in 6 to Boston. Still, I mean, basically had an identical season to the real life Leafs, which is kind of funny. And now look at this, guys. This is kind of funny. The playoffs are complete. New York Rangers won the Stanley Cup. Toronto Marlies actually won the Calder Cup. I don't even think we had like a ton of players there because obviously Nick Robertson got traded away. Amirov, Arizona they're picking first. St. Louis jumps from 12 to 2. Geez. So kind of funny. Again, the Marlies won that after all the guys you trade away. Tavares there averaged over a point per game in the playoffs. That is good to see. Take a quick look here at that playoff tree. So Rangers beat the Penguins in 5, Hurricanes in 7, Bruins in 7 before beating the Kings in 6. That's actually a rematch of the 2014 Stanley Cup final. This time, though, Rangers winning it instead of LA. Awards here. Stanley Cup, of course, we know. Colorado won the President. Individual awards, McDavid got the Art Ross. So I forgot the tiebreaker is. I think it's goals, potentially. Brad Marchand, though, got the Hart Trophy. Makar, James Norris, as you'd expect, had a way better plus-minus than Karlsson. Karlsson, though, Lady Bang. Beniers Calder, Sabanjad, Conn Smythe, Yorkie got the Vezina along with William Jennings, Boquist, Bill Masterton, Sharks coach Jack Adams, Kopitar Selke, Marchand, Ted Lindsay, and then Philip Forsberg there with the Maurice Richard. So kind of funny, like Tree Living comes in, accepts every trade, and the Leafs still end up in the exact same spot, unable to trade any of the core 4. Very curious to see what happens this summer with that team. Like, are they going to make a big splash? Are they just going to kind of do some tweaking, essentially like we did in this video? Time will tell. But that's going to do it, guys, for this one. If you enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit someone down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.